Hello, everyone. Hello again. Welcome back to Tony D's music channel. And today I want to say happy 85th birthday to Ringo Starr. It's his birthday once again on July the 7th. And I gotta say something about this because I love Ringo so much. I do. As you can see, I've got a little photo of Ringo right there, an ad from the Shoes Love album. And if you look over here, over here is a photo of him with Thomas Tank Engine. Now that is how I discovered who Ringo Starr was. When I was about 3 years old, and I saw Ringo Starr, just turned on TV one day and saw Shine M Station, and there was Ringo as the conductor. And I absolutely loved Thomas and Time Station. But I will say this, as a little kid, I did not love Ringo's voice. So I was happy when George Carlin replaced Ringo as the narrator of Thomas. But that was me as a little kid. I didn't really know much back then. I remember the first time I saw him live in concert. It was 2006 with the All-Star Band. I don't remember the lineup too well. I believe Billy Preston, no, he wasn't there. I don't remember anybody in the lineup besides him, honestly. But I know I saw him in 2018. That was one of the best concerts ever. It was Ringo, Colin Hay from Men at Work, Steve Lukather from Toto, Greg Rowley of Fontana, Greg Goldman of 10cc. That was an amazing concert. But anyway, it's important, I think, to talk about what I find so inspiring and so likable about Ringo Starr. He overcame so much adversity in life. If you don't know, his childhood was a bit traumatic. Not as much as John Lennon's childhood, but it was traumatic. By the time he was 3 years old, 4 years old, his father was gone, his mother was single, working barmaid. And by the time he was 10 years old, 11 years old, he was very sick in the hospital all the time. And for that reason, didn't go to school. But this was the time that he learned to take up the drums as a hobby. And that's where he found his true calling. And it made him very confident in himself, despite the fact that he didn't go to school at all. And that's why, as a Beatle, he was the least respected, I would say. The other three were properly educated and were very intelligent themselves. Ringo did not go to school because he was in the hospital. And you may not know this, but Ringo was famous before the Beatles were. I mean, not famous, but he was famous as the drummer for Worst Drummer in the Hurricanes in the late 50s, early 60s. And he was the oldest of all four of the Beatles. He was seen as really cool because he had a car at that point, in that young age. He was a very cocky young man in that group. And don't listen to anybody who says that Ringo was a bad drummer. It's not true at all. He was very famous as a drummer, even before he was in the Beatles. And I really must say, I find it so amazing just how humble Ringo has always been. He never brags about being the best drummer in the world. He's never bragged about that ever. And nobody really expected him to have this great solo career because he wasn't a great songwriter as a member of the Beatles. All of his best songs are co-writes, just about. And so you wouldn't expect him to have a great solo career, now would you? But he did so because he had so many great friends in the business that he worked with. And I think it's easy to see why so many people are friends with Ringo. He's such an affable, likable, charming guy. And I think that's something to aspire to be somebody that others find so friendly. And that's an important thing about Ringo, I believe. He never had an ego to him. Never. I'd say just about every Ringo solo album had great friends of his on it. All of them. Obviously, his former bandmates helped out on his solo albums when they could. And you heard that, Joe Walsh, and many others. Now, I want to talk about Ringo's addiction problems in the 70s. I believe that he became an alcoholic, and he was really, really. I think he used alcohol as a way to cope with the fact that his childhood was so bad, and it may have also had to do with the fact that by 75, 76, he wasn't having hit singles or hit albums anymore at all. I think he was coping with that. But then by the late 80s, it just got to be too much. He was drinking so much, he was almost hurting himself and his wife. He had to go into rehab in 1988. And thank goodness he did. He stopped drinking completely after that. And he stopped eating meat. He became a vegetarian. I think that's one of the reasons why he's so healthy now. And thank goodness he's so healthy now. He looks like he's 42 and he's 85 now. It's amazing, Ringo. Really amazing. And I also want to say how much I love his personality. I mean, it can't be easy to be so happy-go-lucky all the time. That's the way he presents in public. It might not be the way he always is, but it's how he presents. I think that's lovely. And he's been through a lot, honestly. And the fact that he's seen his friend John get killed and his friend George get cancer and then get attacked and then sadly die of cancer, it must have been very sad for him. And maybe it's just positivity that he's gone through all that and now he's happy. I think it is a very positive attitude. It's amazing that someone who's gone through everything he's gone through can be so positive. I just want to say to Ringo, thank you for the music. Thank you for the lovely, charming personality. Thank you for the stories as a conductor. Thank you for the wonderful humor that you have. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for being just such a wonderful person, such a lovely person he is. Yeah, I just want to thank Ringo so much for giving us everything he's given us. He has a solo career that I want to talk about more on this channel. And there's a lot to explore there. There's so much wonderful stuff. So, happy birthday, Ringo. And at noon today, I will not forget to say peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you.